Hello and welcome to the Dustin and Eric podcast show brought to you by Mimosa Networks. Hi, I'm Dustin.
Hi, Dustin. I'm Eric.
Hi, Eric. We're on episode number 34. We're going to talk about some disaster recovery things today. So there's been lots of fires, lots of hurricanes going on lately. Fires, especially here in California in the West. Hurricanes, especially in Texas, Louisiana, Florida area. So we thought it'd be a good show to discuss kind of prepping for disaster and what you should have ready to roll when it happens. So let's get started here. So Eric, what do you think? What's the most important things for disaster recovery?
We need communications. We need radios. Are you going to have cellular? Is your cellular phone's going to stay up?
Right. So my thoughts were, backups of configurations for your routers, your radios. That way you can throw new ones up immediately. Having spare radios, having spare routers, having spare equipment, not stored at the tower site, but somewhere safe at your office or in a off-site location that you know is going to be safe, something like that. Because if your warehouse gets hit too, you won't have any spares and you're just kind of, out of luck. So being prepared with a good safe site for, spare equipment.
Now we've seen some. Have you seen the videos? So we've seen some network tower videos, etc., that handle cellular, commercial traffic, your fire departments, and ham radio repeater towers and so forth. And a lot of these were damaged out here in Northern California, and then in other places across the world and across the states. And some of that stuff got scorched. Inside the telecom shelters, they'll show video.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show drone footage of towers where radios are melted down. Inside the towers got burned up, and so on. Very, very ugly. So I like the idea about, if you can, keep some spare stuff off site.
Right. So another thing I thought of while we're talking here is having actual a mobile tower that you can use to deploy. They're usually called COWs, C-O-W, cells on wheels. So it's just a short tower it's on a trailer you can park on a hill or somewhere where you can raise it up and put temporary equipment on there to get service back up as well. We actually have a customer here in Northern California in the Santa Cruz Mountains who even put up a scaffolding tower up on the mountaintop just to get services back up for his customers and for the ham repeaters that are on that location as well.
A lot of emergency traffic. Sometimes the cell sites go down. So there's also consideration of, what do you do for batteries or generators and stuff? And if you have generators, do they kick? You have to, obviously ensure that they're going to kick over and go right to generator power in milliseconds or so to keep those shelters up or those temporary sites up.
Right, unless they burn up too.
Unless those
so make sure you keep some kind of mobile generator ready to go that you can deploy as well. If for some reason you don't have power but you still have equipment, or if you don't have either and you put a mobile tower up, you still have to get that tower, on some kind of power. You can't leave your truck or your car up there the whole time running it on car batteries. So
how about this? So what if you have a redundant backhaul link and maybe you have a second 5 gig point-to-point backup somewhere on the tower? So if one goes, you can switch to the other or something like that too. And hopefully at least one of those two survives. Let's say if it's a link that has the clients on it.
Right. Or you could have a redundant tower site, on some other hilltop nearby, or, a few miles away that you can swap to as well. So there's a lot of those options cost a lot of money though. So, tower space, additional tower space on a tower, another tower site that you have to work as well. So, there's a lot of people out there who have redundant sites that kind of kick on and cover outages. So that's a good method as well if you're into having redundancy and redundant towers. So basically, let's go down the list here real quick of things that we need. So, we've got 1, which is configuration backups for radios, 2, configuration backups for routers, spare equipment, and then for 3B, make sure that you have it somewhere safe, maybe not stored at the tower site, or if you do have some stored at a tower site, maybe store some off-site somewhere that's safe from fires or storms or any kind of natural disaster that might be heading your way. Maybe some kind of alternative tower or a cell on wheels or a mobile tower of some kind, or some kind of deployable mast or something that you can get above the ground to deploy equipment on. 6, some kind of generator with a fuel source that isn't on site. What else, Eric? Is there anything else you want to add to that?
If you bring some batteries up or a battery bank or something, make sure.
Or some kind of quick solar deployment or anything like that.
Yeah,
right?
Or something that'll trickle charge some cells until you can get the power back up and running. But you got to look at your load too. How many radios? What are they going to do in wattage wise? Do you have enough current and some deep cell batteries to keep going? And
right.
So far, now that's a cattail coming into the frame. Is that what that was?
No, of course not.
You just check and make sure you're all right.
For those viewers at home, I don't have any cats that live here or anything like that. So,
and then also maybe reach out if you're not sure. For the WISP operators, a lot, most of you folks know who to contact. You got your tower people you can call and get a status on the ridge or the mountain or the tower and so forth. You can also reach out. You don't go to the top and go to the state or higher. Go to look for your local ham radio clubs and maybe contact some of those folks, because those guys more than likely are sharing the tower space with you and so forth.
Right. And with the latest disasters, at least in the South, there were a lot of groups who came together to help other WISPs who lost all their stuff. They went out with towers and actually, put Roan 25s back up in place for destroyed towers, had equipment with them, water, everything else, which was really, really nice of those guys. And I would hope the whole industry was like that, not just down south, but here in the West, the East Coast as well, Midwest, everywhere. So it doesn't hurt to ask your friends, even if they are competitors with you, they might still be willing to help you out.
Yeah, we work with different folks in our different regions and stuff, and with whatever we can do. And maybe we have some old radios lying around. We've handed those out and so forth.
Right.
And I've got something. So if somebody's interested in regarding hurricane season, and I know Maria is west of southern Mexico right now, a few hundred miles out. I don't know what size it is, or if it's just a tropical depression. But on the Atlantic side, here's a website to check out if you want to tune in and listen to actually live radio communications, mostly on the folks on the eastern side, no matter where you're at on the globe here. You tune in, go to your URL and type in NA5B. That's November Alpha 5 Bravo, NA5B.com. There's an online web radio, and you can tune in and listen to communications across the United States and out in the Caribbean and so on. And they're forming and they're helping with FEMA traffic and some current disasters and current hurricane stuff during the seasons and stuff. So that's just a little thing to maybe check out.
With that, I think that we've kept our viewers long enough. So I guess we'll see you next time on our next episode. If you have any questions, feel free to post those to YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe or follow button to stay up to date with our latest podcast, which will be available on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud.